This guy is a fucking legend. This man is incredibly world renowned, not only for his ability on the field, but I think everything he does off the field. This guy owns a goddamn farm.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And he's also one of the greatest pass rushers in the history of the NFL, two-time Super Bowl champ, looking to make it a three-time Super Bowl champion with three different teams, the consummate teammate, ladies and gentlemen, Von Miller.
Yeah.
What's up,
Howdy,
man?
guys. Thanks for having me again.
Hey, howdy. You say that naturally? That's awesome.
I mean, at Texas A&M, it's just what we do there, and spending 4 years at Texas A&M, it kind of grows on you along with country music. So, howdy, guys.
So if I was to say howdy in 2022, it would be complete. Like this weekend, I'm going into fucking cowboy country, Vaughn. I'm going to Montana for a game day. We're in the Brawl of the Wild, Montana versus Montana State. And there's a rodeo team I'm going to be meeting. So when I meet the rodeo team, I should say howdy. And I should say it like naturally. And this is like something that is acceptable in 2022. I'm not mocking anybody.
Yeah, no, I feel like you'll be good. I mean, it's an Aggie thing where I'm from. The Texas A&M. This is what we do. What we say, howdy and gig 'em. So. Hey, it should work for you, too.
Hey, the amount of howdies I'm dropping on game day.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, this is amazing. I can't wait to get out there. Follow-up, is there, like, stolen valor when it comes to Cowboys? Like, for instance, I wear that big belt buckle every single week. I have cowboy boots on. I'm thinking about wearing a rancher jacket when I go out there. Are the Cowboys the people that say howdy naturally? To everybody going to be upset and offended by me, you think? Just coming from a farmer and a cowboy, I think. Is there going to be any offense taken by anybody?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. And if anybody is upset with you, you can just tell them Von Miller gave you the pass.
Hell yeah.
It'll be good.
Hell yeah.
There you go. Boom.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. Huge.
I can't wait to say that to somebody. They ain't going to give a fuck. They're at the moment, but then they're going to realize I've made a great mistake.
So sorry.
Yeah, this is good. All right, this is good. Let's start talking. I appreciate all this rancher talk. Obviously, we're talking to Von Miller. Coming off a loss now, okay? Greatest game of the NFL season. Don't want to go backwards, obviously, because we're already on Thursday looking ahead. What did you learn from the Vikings game? You guys were obviously this close to winning that like 4 different times. What did the team learn, and how do you feel about it all?
Yeah, I mean, my perspective is different. I have fun. It's one of those games where, your anxiety's up and then it's down and it's up again. And it's like this emotional roller coaster. And I think year 12, you just see the silver lining in everything, and I had fun. We did enough to win that game. We just didn't win it. The Vikings, they got a great team. They had great offense. Defense played great. It went back and forth, and we just ended up on the wrong side of that game. I don't think that's going to be. I don't think that's going to determine the type of season that we have, or I don't think it's going to determine where we end up. At the end of this season, we just lost 3 games. We just keep moving. Shake it off. I'm not going to let a team beat me twice. It was tough, but I'm still positive and optimistic about this team and our quarterback and our defense and the way we play football. And I'm a firm believer in adversity. It really truly reveals character, and we got a lot of high character guys, and I know we'll take this one on the chin and keep on trucking.
Hell yeah, dude.
What was it like in the locker room after that? Like, it was such a roller coaster of a game. What a fun game to watch as a fan. But I would imagine, like, people probably weren't too down after the game. I would hope so. You guys can take positives of what you can and move on, I'm guessing.
Yeah, guys just naturally are down. I mean, when you put so much, we're pros. So when you put so much into your craft and you lose, of course there's going to be some disappointment. But that's why I'm here. I'm like, hey, man, like, we lost. We're not about to walk around with our lip poked out. I went and I kicked it with Josh at this restaurant, and we didn't have any.
What's the name of the restaurant? What we ordered?
It was Mulberry's. It was Mulberry's. So I didn't have any speeches or anything like that. I just wanted to kick it with my guy. I just wanted to kick it with my guy, have a couple of alcoholic drinks, and just show him I love him and spend time with my guy. That's all it is, and you just keep going, man. And I feel like our best is yet to come, and we just got to keep on playing and truly believe in it.
While you guys are drinking that whiskey,
what?
Or vodka,
what?
Or beers,
what?
What was it?
I'm a tequila guy.
On the rocks, on the rocks or shot?
It just depends. I like all type of. Well, really, my drink is Clase Azul Reposado. So,
of course,
I drink it I drink it with lemonade. I drink it on the rocks. I drink it with Moto Orange. I have a couple of beers with that.
All right.
Right.
You know, guys drinking wine, I do that.
Right.
But this is only one day out of the week where I drink, and that's after the game. So I get after it.
Well, AJ and I actually talked about this. AJ brought it up whenever Tom won in Germany, which I don't know how many W's he's getting right now.
Yeah.
Not many.
With what's everything's coming out.
On off the field.
And who knows what's going to happen. But after the win, Tom seemed genuinely happy. He was able to be the first ever, they were the first ever W in Germany, which is seemingly from an announcement going to grow in years future. It's going to become, because of what Munich did and showed up, there's going to be a lot more games in Germany. And Tom has the first ever one. It was a big win. It's 2 in a row. They needed it. But he looked happy. And we talked about how, like, people aren't happy enough to fucking win in the NFL once you get old enough. You kind of just, it becomes a relief. So I enjoy hearing, that after games, you're going to go ahead and enjoy the 4 hours of free time that you have basically all week without thinking about football. So I'm happy to hear that. When you guys are at Mulberry's, though, are you talking to them? Are you telling them, like, there's only been one team in the history of the NFL that's ever gone completely undefeated? It was a lot less games, a lot less teams at the time in 1972 with the Dolphins. Or is does Josh already have those same thoughts? And how do you think Josh is feeling with everything that's being talked about with this fucking bad boy right here, his right elbow?
No, honestly, I just wanted to be his brother, man. We didn't talk football. I didn't want to talk about football. I didn't want to bring it up. I just wanted to be there. I just wanted to be present. I just wanted to be around him. I wanted him to feel my energy. It's not always a speech that could do it, or it's not always a talk that could do it. You just want to be present. And I just wanted to be present and show him that I love him, and have a couple shots with my guy. And
Right.
let him
So
let him know that.
Right.
Just let him know it's gonna be good, man. We lost the game. Just keep going, man. I truly feel like our best is yet to come.
How's he doing? Mentally good? Body good? Everything good?
Yep, same Josh Allen.
All right, you said that last week. Everybody was thinking he wasn't going to play. Vaughn said on this show, I was at his house after the game. It was same Josh Allen. Yesterday was same Josh Allen. You said this last week too, and he proved to play.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what you want in a quarterback, man. You don't want guys to win and they're this type of guy, and they lose and they're this type of guy. Like, you want guys to stay the same whether you win or lose. Like, we're pros at the end of the day, man, and we're gonna lose games, man. And that's just how it is, But when it's time for them to really count, which I say all games really count.
But we get it.
When it's really time to take score and it's really time for these games to count. Like, those are the games that we need to win, and I truly feel comfortable in the type of football that we play in those times.
Yeah, you play all season to get to those games, and then when you get to those games, you got to win them. You're not saying anything out of pocket at all. Darius, your question for Von Miller.
Hey, what's up, Vaughn? Any updates on the game this weekend? If they're gonna move it, and I know as DBs, we hate these type of games. Be handing the ball off, running a lot. How do you feel as a pass rusher in these type of games with these the inclement weather? Probably been a 40 rush type game. How you feel about these type of games?
Man, I play football. I play football for the Buffalo Bills, and I expected it to be cold. I played, 11 years in Denver. I expected it to be cold. I'm not, surprised by it being cold. With that being said, I'm not going to act like it's not cold. Yes, it's cold. Yes, it's uncomfortable. But like I always say, man, I feel comfortable in uncomfortable situations. So, it's supposed to snow 3 feet or maybe even more, and it's supposed to start tonight. And we might not come to practice, and we might not be able to travel tomorrow. And it's just it's just all part of it, man. Like, whenever it's time to play, I'll be ready to go. Whether it's cold, they got the heater and stuff. They got the heater, and you put on like the Aquaphor underneath the sleeves, and the adrenaline is pumping, and I'm good. DB's a little bit different. I don't know one DB that loves the cold weather. DBs and DBs and receivers, like
especially
I
with
get
Chubb.
it. Yeah, I get it. I get it, but
Because
I like to think this is our advantage. Of course it's cold, but I like to think this is our advantage. That was one of the reasons why I wanted to come here. I wanted to rush the passer in uncomfortable situations. I wanted to, being out here in the cold, and I know offensive linemen, they're not going to be able to come out their stance, and that's when I turn it up a whole another notch. An uncomfortable situation. So I'm looking forward to it. This last game was cold. This one's going to be a little bit colder. It's not supposed to snow on Sunday, so they just be able to move the snow out the way, and we'll be able to play. So it's all good.
I hope that. As somebody that was banking on 3 to 4 foot banks of snow in that particular game, that's an interesting little piece. The snow's supposed to stop by Sunday. That's what local Donardo's saying, local Doppler's saying.
Yeah, it's supposed to snow 3 to 6 before. all the way up until like Sunday morning, and during the game it's not supposed to snow. So, but you never know, man. It's crazy here with this lake.
Wow.
This lake weather is crazy, man. You never really know.
I love that. A lot of the corners, where are they saying? Set the edge? Hey, let's make sure we set the edge. Let's funnel them inside.
Let's tackle that motherfucker before he get to me.
Hey, let's make sure this doesn't get right. First line of defense. Let's go. You guys know what's coming here. Let's go. That's incredible.
But I will say, you got to keep the ultimate goal in mind. You know, you got to keep the ultimate goal in mind, and I'm not gonna let like some weather keep me from achieving that. You know, I hate to look back on my career or look back on games and be like, dang, I played like shit that game because it was cold. Like I don't want to have games like that. I don't want to have that regret. So I'm not gonna let the weather stop me from achieving my ultimate goal. And I know I got a locker room full of guys that feel the same way.
Hell yeah. Go ahead, AJ.
On this little pivot, but I know whenever you decide that you don't want to play football anymore, whenever that may be, what do you see in the future? I know you have the Vaughn cast, which is awesome. I see things popping up all the time about it. I saw you working for NBC at the Derby a couple years ago, going around interviewing some big-time people. Like, what do you want to do, I guess, post-football?
And a follow-up on that, hold on, because you've said you wanted to be a GM in the past. What do you think about Jeff's hiring?
Yeah.
You can't help but think about, life after football. And, I really like the John Lynch route. I like what John Lynch did with his career and how he parlayed that into broadcasting, and then he started to work on being the GM. So I like that route. I want to work for CBS, NBC, Fox.
Right.
One of those guys, and I really like CBS a lot. CBS is it just feels natural with CBS and the Derby and doing all of those things. So I really like CBS a lot. So we just had to see, and then just parlay.
I have never heard a human say that. You hear me? That's the first time I've ever heard it. If you would have said, howdy, I really like CBS a lot, that would have been like the first time somebody said that. Meaningful.
I like NASCAR, Derby, all the events that they do. I could just see myself, being like a lifestyle correspondent in those type of events. I love Michael Strahan. I like the Michael Strahan route as well. But at the end of the day, I got to take the Von Miller route. So whatever presents itself, that's what I do. And I like the Jeff Saturday hiring. Obviously it's some type of relationship that he has with, the owner. I feel like that was a fast track for him. And, I'd like to see, more players get that same respect. At the same time, you got to respect, some of these coaches that
Agreed.
have really committed their lives to coaching. Like I never backdoor that, because I got a lot of respect for these coaches. I see them, each and every day, and they really dedicate their lives to the craft. But at the same time, I like players getting, some shots too. I like players being able to have the opportunity to go out there and prove themselves. And I'm rooting for Jeff Saturday, and I hope he has a lot of success, and I hope he turns that into a head coaching job for sure.
See, I think both can be true with what you said there, because I think Jeff, because of the situation that Jeff is, the human he is, the type of player he was, and where he's at, I think it's going to present opportunities for other guys who have similar traits with different organizations to hopefully get similar opportunities. And I think maybe in the GM role, that's why I was kind of intrigued. Like maybe Lynch did do the TV route, and I thought he was good at TV, and I think he went to Fox, right? I think he was Fox guy, and then he went in there. I wonder if there will ever come a time where a player will get like a GM opportunity just because the owner knows the cut of the jib is like, hey, the locker room, you've won everywhere. Like, for instance, Von Miller. The locker room, you've won everywhere you've ever been. You seemingly, every time you talk about team construction, lay it out in a fashion, everybody's like, yup, that's it. You don't have the contract salary cap style yet, but we got you a guru here. I just wonder what all of this Jeff Saturday thing could lead to, if it is a success. I do. Yeah. Because the owners see what other people do, and they fucking follow them too. You know what I mean? It's not just like on the field where people copycat each other. It's also off the field. I think you'd be great. Just the conversations we've had with you on here, you're awesome, man. You really are. This has been a joy every single week to get to chat with you. Ty, your question for Von Miller.
Von, obviously before Justin Jefferson had his big catch, you had a massive sack, and you played great all day. Is it tough? I mean, you mentioned how fun you had, but is it tough, separating your personal stats and how well you played when your team doesn't win? Does that ever kind of butt heads where you almost feel like, oh, I can't really feel good about how I played because we lost? Or is when you've played for this long, is that not really the case anymore?
I think first and foremost, I'd take a win over anything. I'd take a win over anything, and then I think second to that would be a win and a sack for sure. I want to win, and I want to contribute to winning. And then I think everything after that is pretty much the same. If you lose and you don't get a sack, you feel like, all right, we lost because I didn't play. And if you have 3 sacks and you lose, it doesn't really feel the same. You still feel like you didn't do as much, to help win the game. So I think first and foremost, I want to win the game. It just doesn't feel the same if you don't win the game. And, I think after that, the best feeling is winning and contributing to the win, whether that be a sack, tackle for loss, or some type of big play to help our team win. So, yeah, it's really no moral victories, after you had a sack, because you still lost the game, and I think that trumps everything else. So I want to win the game, and then I want to win the game and contribute to winning for sure.
Yeah, you're getting a lot of sacks there, and I was told you were washed. So I fucking, you know what I mean? You're getting a lot.
And they wrote me off, but I did not write back. I didn't write back.
Geno Smith.
Yeah, that's right.
Geno Smith.
Shout out Geno.
Geno, shout out Geno. Shout out Geno. Vaughn, you have been so enlightened on everything basically in the NFL. We've asked you about other players, you start breaking them down. Business of the NFL, you start breaking that down. How about teams that are active? For instance, Mr. Bean there. He brings you in for however many millions, everybody goes crazy, and then the conversation is, well, if they would have had a closer at the end, a sack artist, it would have been good. Bean says, I understand the problem we have, I'm going to replace it. And then you see teams like the Philadelphia Eagles who are making plays, and the Rams in the past, and the Buccaneers of the past. Do you think this is like the new normal for the successful teams to be very aggressive? And do you think more teams are going to start trying to emulate this type of style of team building, Vaughn?
It's multiple ways to win, and that's
is there nowadays?
There are multiple ways to win. There are multiple ways to win Super Bowls. I think you have to have a great combination of veteran leadership, veteran players, and young players as well. You need the young players to really create some type of longevity with your team. You need a big-time quarterback for sure. You need solid defense. You have to have free agent signings. That's just part of it. When we won the Super Bowl in 2015, we brought in Akeem Talib, T.J. Ward, Darian Stewart, DeMarcus Ware.
Right.
That's just how it goes. We brought in Peyton Manning, 3-4 years before that. That's just how it goes. But we had a nucleus of young guys as well. You got Derek Wolfe from Lee Jackson. Myself. We had drafted Danny Trevathan. They drafted Demaryius Thomas. We brought in Emmanuel Sanders. You just got to have a mixture of all type of guys, and you got to be able to create that team. And I feel like that's what the GMs, that's what they do. You create a great team. You bring in coaches to help develop these guys. You got, strength and conditioning coaches to keep these guys healthy. You need a great athletic training staff, to work with the strength and conditioning coaches to, keep everybody healthy. You need you need great janitors, and you need a great nutritionist and lunch ladies and lunch men as well. And it takes everybody to really, create this team. And just because you do that, it doesn't promise success, but it gives you a chance to go win the big one for sure.
The Eagles signed Ndamukong Suh today, and I think we didn't even remember that Ndamukong Suh was a free agent, which is a damn shame. This should have been a conversation we've been having for a long time because how good he is. But the conversation mostly about free agency has been about Odell Beckham Jr. Odell Beckham Jr., friend of yours, obviously. The world has heard your recruiting pitches publicly and heard about the private ones as well because of your close friendship and love for each other. Now, he told me that you had lied to him in the past. I forget what exactly it was.
A charger?
It was a charger for a phone.
That's right.
And you didn't have a charger. So your claim that you had never lied.
That was my charger. It was my charger. And he had been taking my chargers the whole trip. So it was my charger. He just felt like it was his charger. We had the same exact charger. You have the iPhone charger with the 6-foot long cord.
Oh, yeah.
Those are the most valuable chargers because you can lay in the bed and you can still be on your phone.
10 foot. Get the 10 foot. There's longer ones.
This is the long charger. So I had one. He had one. And, we were in London. I think we were in London for a year. We were in London for a month and a half. So charger. You put the charger here, put the charger there. But that was my charger. But if it was his charger, I apologize. I get you your charger back.
It sure sounds like you're saying that he was wrong in what he tweeted. Never lied to him ever. Miscommunication, maybe though. Living in a foreign country for a month and a half together, though, tells us how good of friends you are and how close you are. He's close to making a decision. He is healthy. Have you noticed that he's like calling people from every organization? Is he still trying to garner information? What do you think it is right now that you need to do to put the Bills over top, or is that just something hands off, let OBJ take the wheel?
I think what he is doing is exactly what he needs to be doing. You're coming off a serious injury. You want to make sure you're in the right spot. This is your future. He's 30 years old. You can't miss. And I'm a firm believer in that. Like I was 33 years old, and I was trying to find a team that was perfect for me. And you can't miss with that. You don't want to go to a team just because of this or that. You want to go to a team because of you. And I want him to make a decision for Odell Beckham, and I want him to be comfortable with that. With that being said, I feel like in my point of view, Von Miller, I feel like it is a place for him. It is a place for Odell here at the facility. This is a great organization. It's a great city. If we're able to win the big thing, and Odell is part of this team, they'll build a statue for the guy. They'll build a statue, for everybody. To bring a championship home for, the Buffalo Bills. Like, I know he's a legacy guy. Like, to put that on his legacy, man, that'll live longer than him. And he's got to see it the same way. And it's at the end of the day, he's got to make a decision for Odell Beckham. But I still feel strongly, whenever it's all said and done, that he'll be a Buffalo Bill, and he'll see it the same way we see it. We got Josh Allen. I know he's looking at other quarterbacks and other offenses, and but Josh Allen, him with Diggs and Gabe Davis and Dawson Knox and
Didn't
Isaiah
catch it, but still.
McKenzie and Naheem Hicks and this offensive line, like, come on, man, it's filthy. And I'm sure you add him to the Cowboys in that offense too. He'll be filthy over there.
Yeah, he's always going. He's
He'll
OBJ.
be filthy with the Giants. He'll be filthy with the Giants. But I think it'd be a little bit more potent, here with the Buffalo Bills for sure.
Well, I can't wait to see his decision. I cannot wait to hear how it all goes, and I can't wait to chat with you every single week for the rest. It's already week 11, Vaughn. Hey, it's already a week 11, dude. Is it flying by over there?
Yeah, that's why I say don't blink. That's why I say don't blink. Like, we were just in training camp. We just had our first, we just did this for the first time in training camp, and it's already week 11. Like, that's why I tell guys don't blink. Like, the days go by slow, but the years go by so fast, and you have to take advantage of each and every moment for sure.
All right, we appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, two-time Super Bowl champion, perennial All-Pro, friend of the program, Von Miller. Thank you, buddy.